Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I'm going to be sharing how easy it is to create a stamped off pattern background with my Pretty Patterns 2 set. This is a clear set of stamps with borders as well as individual images that can be used for stamping borders, creating washi, or using these different elements together to create very intricate backgrounds. Today's design I'm going to be showing how you can turn the tile pattern on a 45 that creates this fun little stair step perfect for spelling out a sentiment. And I'm going to be using my Lots of Letters set. Lots of Letters contains both letters and numbers used for spelling out any sentiments that you want, also great for scrapbooking. It also has individual elements that are perfect for creating designs on your cards, as well as for stamping these different letters and numbers in like little tags. To create this card, you're also going to need a long gridline block for the long stamps. You're going to need smaller blocks for those smaller images and for the letters and numbers. You're going to need some cardstock, white and black. I have the Pure Luxury white and black Onyx. And then we have some stamp pads. I've got the Gina K Sweet Mango and the Memento Lilac. I just loved that fuchsia and orange color scheme I did on last week's video. And then the Gina K Black Onyx for making those letters really pop when I spell it out. All right, so to begin, take my gridline block. You see it has an X in the middle. If you're going to be stamping something straight across, you can line it up with those lines so that it's going to line up when you look at the top of your cardstock. Basically here, I am just going to put the middle of the stamp right over that X and then let it fall. Okay. Make sure you have a very clean stamp. Got a little something on there, it looks like, when I was cleaning it earlier. And this is just a wet paper towel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and place our cardstock on our work surface. Also, I have a little secret weapon under here. I've got a magazine, but you could also use a mouse pad. When I'm using clear stamps, especially large, bold ones like one like this, it's really good to have some kind of cushion underneath your cardstock because my desk is very unforgiving. It's not going to give it all when I press down on it, but it does have some little imperfections. And so you can see in this big 40 card, forgot to do that, and you have kind of some little spaces in there, and I guarantee those are from my desk. So I just like to put something under my scratch paper. All right, so let's go ahead and ink this up. So just tap all over. Once you see that it's good and filled in, this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch white mat that I've already trimmed for my card front. You'll see it goes into a corner. This end is open for nesting that into if you wanted to stamp 2 of these borders. So I'm just going to put that corner right into the corner of my mat. Okay, and then I'm going to press down all over and pick up. Okay, and so you might see a few little stray dots. That's where you might have a little bit of dust or whatever on your border. All right, now before re-inking it, what we're going to do is we're just going to shift the stamp down. And what I'm looking for, I'm not measuring, I just want to create this white plus pattern in between my new border. And without re-inking, this is going to create a second shade of this beautiful orchid color. Okay, so I don't have to line up the whole thing. I'm really just looking at one set of squares to put that last one in there to create that plus sign. Okay, and then we're just going to press. And this is called stamping off. So you get more mileage out of one ink pad and getting 2 colors that always coordinate. All right, now I'm going to quickly clean the stamp. Just blot that off. And I'm going to add in the top of that border there. So you're going to do this afterwards, after you ink that first one. Okay. All right. Clean it again. Now I'm going to do the orange. This over here so you can see it. Okay, and once again, Looking for creating a new little 4 square there with the plus inside. Press down. And then we're going to lift it up. And I'm going to do one last square. Mix that peach color. So you want to use the part that you have already stamped for putting that last one in. That has the lighter color. You can see on these ends where I haven't gone on my card, it's still that darker orange. Okay, so we have this filled in. Then we can go in with the pink and a smaller little open square and just create some interest in some of those open tiles. And this is just a really fun part where you get to customize this pattern any way that you want. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and create some spaces for my letters. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do baby on this one. So B, A, and then we're going to be using the Y again. The B twice. And these are a little bit sticky because I just cleaned them. Okay, so you can have it right in the middle, or if you want it to be more offset, you can bring it down a little bit. I'm going to put it right here though. Okay. So I know I want it to start on this square. So I'm going to take this larger square. This is from the Lots of Letters set. And I'm going to ink it up in that Sweet Mango ink. And I'm just going to press this square right into that pattern. And then I'm going to use the Stamped Off. And this time I'm going to make it overlap with the pink squares just a little bit. There's really no rules here, but just going to make a really fun geometric pattern. Then I'm going to do another orange one down here for where the Y goes. And finally, I'm going to do a pink square. Right here. Okay. And it makes kind of like a updated modern quilt pattern. All right, now I'm going to stamp out my letters. So this is a small grid line block. Just going to put my B on there. Pick it up in the black. And I have 2 of these, so I'm going to put B and then B. And see how it's just the same width of that little tile. Now, this is a tip for you. Instead of trying to peel off this letter, which I know still has quite a bit of ink on it because these pads are so juicy, go ahead and stamp it off several times before you try to peel it off. This will keep the ink off of your fingers, which always ends up, when you don't want it to, transferring to your project. So, all right, then we're going to do our A. Okay, let's stamp that off. Okay, and then finally the Y. And my friend really loves just bold patterns, so I know she's going to like this a lot more than the traditional baby images that you often see. Okay, and then just for fun, I'm going to go back and do just a couple more of these little pink squares, kind of as like my embellishment. So you can have them just overlap those corners. Okay, and it's finished whenever you think it's finished. So just stamp until you think it's done. And then you're going to layer that onto your black cardstock. So this is just a really clean and simple card. You might want to go ahead and line that with another piece of white paper if you don't have light gel pens to write your message, or you might want to use something that's contrasting to these colors or the coordinating orange or pink. I hope you enjoyed this card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please come back for more videos using my pattern set. Thanks for watching.